Hey everyone, it's Mozart here. Unfortunately, it's not the most pleasant morning, but still, I think I need to record this overview and share my thoughts. Of course, based on the signals I provided. So, Bitcoin took a hit overnight. There was a pretty big flash crash, and if Bitcoin was affected by that, well, overall, you could say it's conservative. Altcoins suffered way more. But I'll take a look at that too. Well, to be more precise, I've looked at everything, so I'll just share my thoughts. So, Bitcoin, these are the 5-minute candles, and this is the main drop, which is about in the 5-minute candles. About 9,000 coins were traded. Then there were reversal candles at 9 and another one at 9,000. Not bad, buyback. And keep in mind that the Nasdaq dropped on these Trump rates. Yeah, it fell by 2.5%, but it's not like something incredibly terrible. It didn't drop by 5% like it does during some tough times. 4, 5, 6%. It can drop during critical moments. On the exact same levels, where Bitcoin and all the altcoins dropped today. That didn't happen with the stock market. So, I'm concluding that there was a massive reduction of leverage in the market and a large-scale liquidation. Based on what I gave yesterday, everything remains in force. Nothing changes. Let's go with the second option. There were two of them. I mentioned this from the start, and I said the same thing yesterday, that we might test it one more time. This downward orange channel and even the 100 moving average. Alright, we did it. The first entry point. Somewhere around here, you could have entered at the current price. The second averaging DX2 in this block. Conditionally center of the block, the price is at the center of the block. You can average down here. That's what I've averaged down. So, my average is between this zone and this zone. Somewhere around here, my average is about $97 to $97.5 thousand. 185, right. As I said, if we take X2, 185, and specifically close it with a trigger candle. With a trigger candle. So, as soon as the daily candle closes below the 85 mark, we close the position at the stop loss. It won't just spike, it has to actually close. Everything is still in force here. Nothing changes here. Moreover, according to the indicators, according to RSI, we have reached, level 40 within the sideways movement, and right now, it's obvious that we are in a sideways market. Since about the end of November. That happens a lot. We can move to the lower boundary, bounce off it and head back up. All's still valid. That is, I am in a position that everything that happens next, I will write from this position. Of course, I'll post about any reductions, closures, and so on in the Telegram channel. Bitcoin for the week, right? You also remember the video? Who's watching me? He said, if we don't close. Daily candle above these. This zone, that is, somewhere around 104-500-105 thousand dollars. It is quite possible that we can go back to test the lower limit. Well, in fact, that's how it turned out. Although I expected that here the stops went down to the lower limit, the second option is good, but in general we'll consider this option further. What's happening here? It could be anything as long as it's all sideways. We'll see what kind of pattern ends up forming here. Now you will watch, here they will guess. Whatever you will watch other influencers, other bloggers, they will say that here the diamond will be drawn like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, that you will then go down the height of this diamond. And to put it bluntly, maybe that's how it will be. We can't guess that. But in this kind of sideways market, one pattern transforms into another. Maybe this week Bitcoin will bounce back, and I can even see that happening. It's quite likely we'll go back to 98, almost to 100. And if we close with a green candle, for example, then it won't be a diamond pattern anymore. That'd be a different pattern. So, you can definitely fit this into the overall orange descending channel. We're just moving in the channel and drawing another bull flag. In the poll, by the way, right now. I'll show you the same thing right now. So, like this, that's how we're moving along. So it's the same upper flag. These patterns transform into one another, and in the end, you can only understand what kind of pattern it will be after it breaks out. After it breaks out up or down, then we'll know what the pattern will be. Before that, it's just potential, and potential doesn't mean anything. In the blockchain regarding liquidations, specifically for Bitcoin, there was a strong hourly liquidation. It was quite strong, at $55 million. Yeah, it was strong. Well, it was even stronger than the liquidations from December 5th. This is specifically in 1 hour, not in a day, but in an hour, and compared to the liquidations from the drop on December 19th. Although they were not as strong as, for example, after the Iranian attack in April, there were $100 billion. In just 1 hour, there were liquidations, and there was even a moment with liquidations in early January 2024, where it was even more. $81 million. Right now, the liquidations are big, but not the biggest. Although, during the last sideways movement, it's the largest one. And this is in the context of an hour. And if we look at it from a daily perspective, then overall, this liquidation is daily, comparable to the straight from December 19th to 20th. So without considering leverage, clean money was wiped out from the market in long positions. Right now, it's about $120 million. At that time, there was a peak around 123. Exactly, so it looks like this situation on picture. You can't say much about a strong liquidation. It's a reversal liquidation, although after such liquidations, we often can still make new highs. This is the bottom. We often update the bottom. So how do we move up? So just like that, we simply go up. This is how it goes. Moving on to the funding, it's surprisingly very stable. It doesn't fluctuate at all. At one point, it dipped into the negative zone for 1 to 2 hours, but overall, on a daily basis, it's stable. Nothing here is changing, it's about zero. The most important thing, I told you, is not to fall below zero in the context it. So we shouldn't let it happen like it did in April through Iranian attack. We went below zero, and this is considered a reversal formation. That's medium term holders. So let's see what's happening here. Right now, their purchase price is around $96,000. Right now, the price is $94,000, so we went down. Here's a false breakout, January 13th, and now there's another breakout in this zone. For now, we're holding it. We haven't gone down too much. Honestly, this zone is quite significant. Well, I would call it critical. We need to hold on to it. We can't let it drop too much lower, because these people will start to sell. And these people holding Bitcoin for 3 months accumulated large volume. It's quite large. And if they start to sell, I'm not going to pretend that it won't happen, or that I hope it won't, that this won't happen. It will happen, and they could push the price down to 85 based on their profits. I'm just saying it like it is. But statistically, in regular markets, this line tends to hold more often than not. So, roughly 6 to 7 holds for every drop. These are the statistics. This is what I am telling you I have. Now we are in a zone where we can hold on, even walk around here a little and bounce back up. It can't drop much lower. Otherwise, it will be different. So, Pulte, NevK, total 3, market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum. What can I say here? The picture looks pretty bad, to be honest. Yeah. This is definitely a powerful flash crash. Moreover, they went and took out those stop losses. So those who set the stop losses, liquidity got taken out. So these levels. What was I saying earlier? If we close below the $900 to $220 billion mark for the week, yeah, that's bad. And I'm thinking about closing my alt portfolio. The week closed exactly at $904 billion. So, it seems like we're right on the edge, but still a bit above. Now $845 billion. I don't know how this week is going to close, but right now I'm not going to close my midterm alt portfolio. I won't. Why? Here's the orange channel. That's the same orange channel. You can take a look at it. We've reached its lower boundary. This looks like a bull flag. This looks like a bull flag. Classic analysis. It's the same thing we drew here, just it was stretched out. Here it's shorter and sharper. But it's still a bull flag. For now, we took out that liquidity. Plus, on the daily chart, we hit the 200-day moving average, the white one. Plus, according to the Fibonacci, we corrected at 61.8. That's it. We closed it, covered it. Alright. The figure is a reversal pattern. I'm looking at the minimum, like this. We worked it out. Perfect. Here, basically, the correction looks like the pullback is complete according to the technicals. But those kinds of drops, they, well, rarely bounce back up quickly. It can bounce back quickly. But under what condition? If Trump says tomorrow, then what? Well, we had a discussion with the Canadians and the Mexicans. Alright, I won't introduce those tariffs for now. Tough. I'll introduce 10 for each. And there, as we agree, everything will just shoot up. This will be one option. What's the likelihood of that happening? Whether Trump says that tomorrow, you decide. I can't say. The next option, which also happens more often, according to the statistics on the chart, after such drops. So we walk around, and somehow we close somewhere, like right here. Maybe higher, maybe lower. We're walking, trading it out. Maybe we'll even trade this zone one more time. Whether we'll break this low or not is a toss-up, 50-50, and sometimes we shoot up from there. Here are two options that happen on such charts. We must consider that it's still a bullish flag. Well, we need to take that into account. Plus, we tested the white channel, like a perfect test. White channel is ascending. That's why we're hanging out above the upper boundary of that triangle right now. But in any case, I'll wait for the close of this week and then I'll make a decision. Let's see how this week closes for total 3. But in any case, I don't want to close right now, even if it closes below the 900 mark. Technical analysis expects a bounce here. Well, it's not like he owes me. But it happens way more often than it doesn't. A bounce back to the center of this channel. So back down to the 900 mark. 900. $50 billion, and I'll close here if this week closes below the 900 billion mark. Here, I'll probably close either part or all of it, depending on whether this week closes above, with a green candle. I don't know how likely that is, so I'm not doing anything right now. Just these two options, fingers crossed. Right now, I've said everything I could, and I've shown everything I wanted to show. One more time, please. This is important for you. If you're following my signals, you need to do what I say. If I say stop at the candle close, then it's a stop at the candle close. So, not by touching, but by closing. If I say, when are we taking the position? 2% of the deposit, whether it's a stop from the entry point to the stop of 2% or 22%, you still have to lose 2% of the deposit. No matter how much the price moves, calculate the position size accordingly so that you lose 2% of your deposit. Don't pull from yourself. So, if you're trading based on my signals, you have to do exactly what I say. Otherwise, nothing will work. Absolutely nothing. That's it. I'll keep you updated. Of course, we need to take action. We need to work and pull this result out of the current drawdown. Well, I'm talking about Bitcoin first. Thanks. This was Mozart Law. That's a ghost. But in any case, we'll break through. As usual, it just takes more time. What was I originally planning? Alright. It'll take more time. But not money, as long as you follow me exactly. Alright, everyone, take care. I'm keeping an eye on the situation.